y'all living? Let me know along with any feedback for this video in the comment section down below. And welcome to my channel, Ursula Living. And of course, I am your girl, Ursula. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, mosey on over to the next door neighbor. Hit that bell so you can always know how I'm living right here on the tube. All right, guys. So as you can see, this is going to be a very special story time. This story time is going to be about the time that I went to a past life regression class. So I'm going to explain everything, but let me set the foundation. So I had a friend that came over. We hadn't talked in a while, and so like maybe once a month or every couple months we get together. So she came over to my house and we were sitting in my family room and we were just talking and stuff. And I was like, girl, look, I gotta finish cleaning up my kitchen, so why don't you come in the kitchen with me? I'll get you a snack, you know, some wine, whatever you want, and you know, we can finish talking in there while I clean up. That way, you know, killing two birds with one stone. Ain't that how it go? Anyway, so she was like, cool. So we were doing something and I kind of turned to her, and that's when I noticed that she was wearing this beautiful, beautiful necklace that had a crystal in it. And I was like, girl, your necklace is really, really cute. I like it. And so that's when she proceeded to tell me how she had been going to this store that offered classes to people so that they can learn about crystals and, you know, the different type of crystals, what you can do, how you can heal from crystals, the energy that you get from crystals, you know, what the different crystals mean, how to keep your crystals clean, you know, re-energize them, if that's the correct word, all this stuff. And I was like, oh wow, that's so cool, because my husband Daniel has been wanting to get me some crystals and thought that it would really help me. And I've kind of always been into crystals too, or have wanted to know more about them, I guess I should say. So she started telling me about the class and everything like that, and I said, well, wow, you know, that sounds like a really cool, you know, class, something that I'd be interested in. And she was like, yeah, well, they have all kind of classes there. She's like, actually, I went to one a couple weeks ago and it was a past life regression class. I was like, girl, what is that? And she said, well, it's basically where you're in a class with several people. She said you can do one-on-one if you want, but it's a group of you guys, and you go in and there's this, let me see what I want to call her. I don't know if I want to call her a teacher or a counselor. There is an instructor, and she basically helps you to go back and relax and to go back in time to see if you're able to see who you were in your past life. And I was like, huh? Yes, I was like, what we talking here? So she was like, yeah, you just go to the class, you know, you can bring a pillow, blanket, you lay down, the instructor talks you through everything, and then at the end, you know, you write down your notes and you discuss things. And I was like, well, girl, I said, who were you in your past life? I know you had to be somebody crazy. So she was how it went, and you know, who she found out she has been in her past life. She said she actually was able to go through several past lives, which from her and researching it myself, a lot of people, when you're in one session, a lot of people don't see several past lives. You might just get one. So she was lucky to see several, but she at one point was a man and at one point she was a woman. And I'm like, only you, dude. Like, this girl is crazy. So the fact that she said she was a man at one time and then a woman at another time, I was like, girl, yes, that's you. So anyway, so she was telling me all this stuff and about the instructor, and how the instructor said that because when she was a man, it was like she was in a war and she got shot in the stomach or something like that, and how whatever you see in your past life can be a reflection of what's going on in your life right now, even with health issues. And my friend, she does have health issues in regards to her stomach, which is where she was shot and hurt at in a past life. So I was like, girl, I saw you for real. I said, well, did you see the people? Did the people talk to you? It was like what they say to you, girl. So we were just going through all this stuff, and she was like, you know, they got a class like next month. I was like, bet, I'm going to this class. So fast forward, I'm driving to this class. She said, you know, I'll meet you there. So I'm driving to this class, and I'm just like in the car, and I'm like bopping to my music, H-Town, bouncing, yeah, And I was like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I going to this class? Like, I didn't know how to feel, and maybe it was the nervousness or the unknown, but I really didn't know how to feel. One, because I'm like, this is kind of some like creepy stuff, and I'm a very open person, but in a sense, I know for some people it's kind of creepy. It goes against their religion, and I was like, am I wrong for doing this? What am I doing? You know, but at the same time, you know, it's interesting. I just was going back and forth in my mind, and I was like, I'm not doing this. But I got to the place, got to the place, was in the parking lot, and I was like, you know what, God, it is what it is. I'm going to walk in here. If it's not for me or I feel uncomfortable at any time, then I will just stop. I'll just walk out the class if I feel uncomfortable or feel like something just isn't right. So I go in. I was one of the last people there, and it was about 10 of us in a room, and they were all ladies in this class, and men can come too. It's not like that. It just happened to be all women that day. And it was about 10 of us. And so basically, you know, we just run around the class and introduced ourselves, and, you know, what did we think about what we were getting ourselves into, and how did we hear about the class, you know, this, that, the other. Oh, and by the way, the class was like, I think it was $40 to attend the class. And the class it was like an hour or two long, something like that, hour and a half. And so anyway, that was the first thing that we did. And then our instructor, she introduced herself and herselves. I'm sorry, I have a paper here with all the information. But she introduced herself and how, you know, now she devotes her life to the healing arts and stuff like that. And her specialty is past life regression. You know, she's been featured in books and stuff like that. So she does different things. I don't know if I'm not gonna say this. Is it Reiki classes? I don't know. And she maintains a hypnosis and energy healing practice and all that kind of stuff. So she just was basically telling us about herself, and, you know, for us to get to know her since we had introduced ourselves. So she was like, you know, before we get started, she said, in just a minute, I'm going to, she had one of them things, like them bowl things, and then it was like, bing, like she had one of those type things. But anyway, she dimmed the lights a little bit, but before that, she let us know about past life regression. And she was saying that in just a minute that we were going to close our eyes, kind of meditate, pray, whatever, you know, your thing is. But within that, to set our intentions. And setting your intentions basically means what you would like to explore. And she said, if you aren't sure, you know, what your intentions are, because like maybe some people's intentions is just to find out who they were. Maybe it's to find out a health issue, or to maybe a specific question that they have in their mind. She said, but if you aren't sure what your intention is, your intention can be to just learn whatever is for the highest good. And she said, don't like go so deep, especially if it's your first time setting your intention. Just try to stay light. She said, I'm sorry, I'm looking over here because I'm reading notes. Deep or difficult issues should be explored in a private session, so that you can have individual attention. And I think a private session is probably the best way to go, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Basically, she was telling us, think about what we want to see. At this part of it, I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea what I want to see. I don't even know what to expect. I don't know anything. So in my mind, I'm thinking what my intentions is going to be fairly light. And basically, during the time that we set our intentions, I just closed my eyes and I prayed to God, and I said, God, if there's something you want me to see, if there's something you want me to know, show it to me and I will be open to it. Because some people, they go through this and they really don't see anything at all. So I was just like, you know, if it's not meant to be, then I know I won't see anything at all. And, you know, we can just call this a wrap. But she also told us to relax and observe the past life experiences as we're going through them. Like, what do we see? What's going on around us? You know, can we tell a time frame? Things like that. And just to accept whatever comes into our mind without too much judgment or analyzing it, you know, just getting too deep with it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then she also mentioned that the process might not always match her instructions. And she said, follow your own guidance. And for example, she said, if I ask you what you are wearing and you are talking to an angel, stay with the angel. In other words, like if you are too deep, too far left, and you over here and you're not, like you just in your own zone and you're not paying attention to what she's saying, or you hear her ask something, like stay with your story so that you don't lose, you know, your thoughts, your track of what's going on in the story, because you definitely want to keep up with what's going on. And she said some people will get visual images, others may get feelings, and still others may know or sense in a different way. And she said whatever your sensations are, just receive it, you'll be fine. And then she said afterwards, for the next few days, be open and receptive, as a lot of information can still be coming to you, images and different things like that. So that's how she opened the class. So she binged the little thing. I said my prayer. I was like, Lord, show me what you want to show me. I'm going to be open to whatever is going to come my way. I'm just going to go with it. And basically she started off with some I laid down, okay, on my blanket that I bought, okay. I didn't bring a pillow. I was like, damn, I should have bought a pillow. But I laid down on my little blank. I had my journal here, which I have notes on here of what happened. But I had my journal, my pen, and I just laid back. And basically she took us through some breathing techniques, and it's just like you start to let go and you feel lighter and lighter. And by the way, this past life regression class is basically, yes, it's basically you're being hypnotized. It's a hypnosis. So you just start feeling light, and you're, you know, she's just taking you through things. And again, like she said, asking you what you see, you know, what are you wearing, things like that. And I'm just going to read my notes and take you through what I was feeling and what I saw. Because at first I was like, I'm not going to be able to concentrate, because it was like a girl, she was like 3 or 4 people down, and she kept falling asleep and snoring. I was like, yo, you know, and you could tell the instructor, because she had already told us if you start to fall asleep, she said some people do get real relaxed and you snoring or something, she'll kind of tap you on your feet. So I know she had to tap that lady several times, and that kind of messed up my focus. That's why I said maybe a private one-on-one session is best. But I was just like, if this lady, she needs to kick this lady out. Like, I'm tired of you snoring. You got sleep apnea. I know, I'm a sleep technologist, FYI. You know, I'm like, dude, get you a CPAP machine and quit the snoring. But anyway, messing up people's vibe. But anyway, so the first thing is when I start to relax and stuff, at one point, I went, like, I had my arms like on the side of me like this, and I went to like raise my arms up. I'm like, let me see if I can move, because you know I'm ghetto fab. I was like, let me see if I can move. So I went like this, and or tried to anyway. I couldn't lift my arms up, y'all. I was like, that's some scary shit. What the hell? I couldn't lift my arms up. So I was like, okay, Ursula, just let it go. Go with the flow. So here's what it is. So my first image, I saw water, very beautiful water, and I didn't realize it at first, but I was walking on the beach, and I was walking really close to the water. The water didn't touch me, but I was walking really close along a beach, and it's like I started from the bottom and I went up. So I'm like, okay, I'm barefoot. I don't have any shoes on. I'm walking on a beach. I'm barefoot. It's hot. And as I start to go up, I'm like in this white, just straight dress, like a white dress. And as it starts to go up, I'm noticing all this gold, like gold around my neck, the gold belt, gold rings, gold, just like I'm drenched in like accessories that were gold, and I know that they were like real gold. My hair was kind of short. It was black, like black, and I was darker than what I am. My skin tone now is very rich brown color, and my eyeliner went out to here, like a very defined wing eyeliner look. And I was just walking on the beach, and as I'm looking around, you know, you have peripheral vision, so it's like you can see things and you know it, but you're not looking directly at it, so you're not focused on that. So I knew that there was stuff going on around me, but I wasn't focused on that. And then I just remember I was walking with my head very high up, profile, because this is how I looked. I felt like I was like, you know, just really like, you know, walking with my head up high, like I was proud, like I was just the bomb diggity. And as I'm going through all this, and I'm seeing an attractive man behind me, and he is, I'm holding his hand from behind. So I'm walking in front, and the guy's behind me as I'm holding his hand, you know what I'm saying? And so like I'm leading him basically, and keep that in mind. And now that I think about it, let me go ahead and cut to it. I'm gonna show you a picture of me and my husband, and I want you to keep this in mind, so check it. All right, so that's how I was leading this guy. Now, he wasn't falling behind like my husband was, but that's what I mean. Like I was walking in front of him, and I was kind of leading him. And all of a sudden I just see sedan. And I'm just like, okay, I'm in sedan. Had very angled eyes, giant like eyeliner. Like I said, my skin tone was about 2 times darker than mine, but very rich and very golden. The man had on an outfit like mine, but it was a suit. It was white. And that's when I realized, guys, that, and this was like maybe 1600s. And this is when I realized that I was an empress. Yes, in my past life, I was an empress. That's what I saw. And then, you know, she's asking you other stuff, and next thing I know, the man isn't around anymore, and I'm sitting in this big chair like kings and queens sit on, you know, with the big, you know, the chair that's like really tall and big, and I'm just sitting there like this, and it seems like I'm at a party of some sort. And you can tell that I had at that point gotten a lot older. I was still very beautiful. It was just like I aged really well, but you could tell that I definitely was older. The jewelry, and I don't know if it's a representation thing, but the jewelry, I still had a lot of my jewelry on, but it was more like, it looked more antique. And I could see green stones in some of them, but it was more antique. And I was just sitting there observing everything, and I still was the empress. Like I was still in charge of all these people. I was still running this village, this area, whatever it was. And then next thing I know, it just kind of stopped there. And the next thing I know, I'm in this huge bedroom with a huge ass bed, like the kind you see like the kings and queens sleep in, like those that have the big post on the bed and everything, like a big old canopy bed. And I was just laying in it. And at that time I was extremely old, like probably 80s, 90s, something like that. I was really old. And I knew and I could feel at that time that this was going to be my ending. And right then I could hear our instructor saying, I don't remember her exact words, but she was saying that, okay, now we're getting towards the end of this life. So I was already there before she was, which, like she said, you go with the flow of how your situation is going, your story. And so I was in this room, and there might have been 2 or 3 other people in the room, but I noticed that there was a man in the room. And the man he looked just like the man that was in the beginning of the story, but he was younger. So definitely wasn't my husband. And I realized at that time he was my son. And he knew that I was dying, and he was just like on one knee by my bed holding my hand, and he was very nervous. I mean, he was sad that he was losing his mom, but he was more nervous because he knew that he was next in line to inherit this kingdom, this village, whatever I was running. And so he was nervous and very scared, and he was the only child that I had. And I told him that, you know, to be strong, that he was going to be fine. He was going to be great. He was going to be powerful. But I think he was also nervous because I had reigned for so long. I was the empress. I had run this place for so long. And it seems like I was nice, but I was very strict and meant business. And so he knew that he had to take that legacy and go with it, and how he was going to do all this, you know. But I told him that he was going to be fine. And a key point here, I just kept taking the back of my hand, and I kept going like that. I just wanted to stroke his face, and then of course I just died. It wasn't nothing dramatic. It was very peaceful, all that kind of stuff. Eventually I'm hearing the instructor saying, okay, we're coming back. She's taking you through this breathing and coming back. You're getting lighter, whatever, however she does it. So she basically brings you back. Once you come out of it, she tells you to start writing notes. Now my notes are basically everything that I mentioned here, from me being an empress to walking barefoot, sedan, my skin tone. Also, at the beginning, when I was walking in front of the man and holding his hand, I would never look back at him. I was very strong. I had no, yeah, that was basically it. Everything that I have here, I just explained to you. So we write everything down, and she's like, okay, so who wants to share? And I'm looking around at everybody, and I was like, well, shit, I'll share, because I just want to know what did I just go through, lady? But it was, as I was telling her my thing, I immediately thought of my daughter, and I start getting real emotional in the class. Like, literally, I start crying, because I remembered what my friend had said, how, and even the instructor had said it, how whatever you see in your past life can be a reflection of an answer for what you're supposed to do in this life, or maybe whatever you saw in your past life is an indication and examples of things going on in your life now, or maybe health issues, whatever the case. And I just remembered when I was sick, y'all know if you've been following my channel for a long time, in 2015 when I was sick and I was in the hospital for like almost a month, I didn't see my daughter except for through pictures. Like if my husband would take pictures of her, or her daycare would send pictures and I would get notifications, but I didn't see her. And so there was a lot of times, well, one time after surgery, my mom, I was incubated, but I actually remember me doing this. My mom knows sign language, and I don't know if I could tell my mom was there, but I start doing sign language. Like I start doing the alphabet, and my mom thought I was trying to say something else, and I remember just getting so mad. And you can't do anything because you can't talk. You don't even know where you're at. You can't even open your eyes. Like, you don't know. And I was like, just so upset. And I was like, C-H. And I start sign languaging, signing my daughter's name again. And she was like, Charlie. And I said, yeah. And my mom said, oh, she's all right, Ursula. You know, she tried to call me. And after that, I think I went back out. But all throughout the stay of my hospital, I kept telling my husband, I said, it wasn't that I wanted to see my daughter. I said, I need to feel her. And I said, I just want to go like this. I just want to feel her skin. I just want to touch her. And when I actually was able to go home, and even though we had to be careful, I just sat next to her and I just rubbed her face. And even now I find myself that I do that a lot. It relaxes me, and it's that skin to skin type situation. And I can't believe that I was doing that in my past life. And I was like, oh, this is reflective of what's going on now and things like that. And the lady was like, well, maybe your daughter's like a reincarnation of the son that you had then. I said, well, shit, she might be, Lord Jesus, because I have a cousin, she tells me all the time, she's like, you and Charlie have something. And she said, it's something with the eyes. Y'all look into each other's eyes. Like Charlie speaks with her eyes. And that's just how it was. And so it just meant so much to me. But anyway, bottom line, in my past life, I was an empress, and I only went through one past life. I didn't die tragically. It was just sister got old. Shit, can't live forever. And so that was my experience. Now, after I've had this experience, you know, would I go back again? What would I do different? How would I definitely will go back again. I think it's kind of interesting. I do question myself, especially right after. I was like, did I really see that shit? Or was that in my mind? Or what happened? But really and honestly, I would go back again. I'm open to that sort of thing. That's just me and who I am. But I would definitely go back. I would try to go to a private session, which I don't know how much her private sessions are. I might go back, and maybe she'll let me record. Maybe I can secretly record. But I would definitely go back, but on a one-to-one basis, because being in a room with other people, it's kind of like you feel their energy and their vibe. And then like, old girl kept snoring and shit. I'm like, dude, like, what? You messing up people. Like, you messing me up. You messing my concentration. You messing up my... And so I felt like maybe I could have went deeper. Maybe it would have been more whatever if I didn't have like the distractions. Because at first I really was listening. I'm like, this stuff ain't gonna work. But eventually I relaxed enough to see that. So I don't know. But if you've ever... had a past life regression type situation, let me know what you think about this sort of thing. Do you think that it's wrong? Do you think that it's right? You know, no judgment, no true judgment. Like, don't be like, oh girl, you crazy. Like, you know, I don't necessarily think that. I'm just the kind of person that I feel like God talks to us in different ways. And I know for one, this is like truth. I know for sure that God talks to me a lot, and I mean a lot, through my dreams. So to be in this class and be hypnotized and basically meaning like at a relaxed state, but being more aware of what you see. And like she said, setting intentions and stuff like that. I think that, you know, God has a way of talking to us. And I feel like being this Empress, it showed me that I have always been strong. I am a leader. I can be a leader. I'm strong. I'm a strong woman. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And even in my own time of sadness or downtime, I'm constantly caring about other people. And that is so true. No matter what I'm going through, I am somebody that thinks about other people and how they're feeling and making sure that they're okay. So like I kind of put others before myself, and that's just who I am. So I felt like that was, you know, kind of an example of that in my past life. So I don't know, but I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that was interesting. I hope that you understood what I was saying. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will definitely answer you guys in the comment section down below. Maybe we could do a follow-up video. Like I said, if you've ever done this, let a girl know. All right, I will talk to you guys later.